Hello BBN, Lamar Wilkerson almost signed with Kentucky. Does it seem like not signing at the time was an excuse? The player's pass was stolen from Kentucky, that's questionable. The visit from the competing coach was crucial for him to sign. It doesn't seem like much of a question of being just another one on the Kentucky team, as he said at the time. Let's analyze. Kentucky basketball, under Mark Pope, not only had its confidence tested, but also found itself facing a competitive reality in which player decisions often transcend traditional sports factors. Although the outcome was a setback for the Wildcats, in the transfer cycle, there is much more to be highlighted than just isolated losses or gains. When Lamar Wilkerson visited Lexington, the excitement was palpable. After all, the Sam Houston State point guard had demonstrated impressive skills throughout his career, being seen as a valuable piece for any elite program. His presence at Kentucky seemed promising, especially after he left campus with a positive impression and a possible inclination towards the Wildcats. However, fate had an unexpected twist in store. Less than 24 hours after his visit, Wilkerson announced his decision to join Indiana, in a move that took many by surprise. Wilkerson's explanation, "I don't want to go to Kentucky and be just another guy," brought up debates about how top programs deal with their stars, and how athletes perceive their role within these teams. However, this narrative, while understandable, hides important nuances that deserve to be explored. First of all, it would be naive to ignore the impact of IU coach Darian DeVries' personal visit to the player on the same day of his official commitment. This gesture was crucial and demonstrates the power of persuasion when it comes to prioritizing a recruit. For Wilkerson, feeling valued and central to a program's intentions weighed as much as any other technical consideration. Additionally, rumors have surfaced about additional incentives offered by the Bloomington team, including issues related to the NIL, and even the hiring of Justin Bailey, Wilkerson's former assistant coach at Sam Houston State, to join the Indiana team. These elements reinforce the idea that, in today's college transfer market, off-the-field strategies can carry as much weight as on-court brilliance. And, while this was happening, Kentucky maintained its posture of confidence and dignity, avoiding desperate disputes or excessive promises that could compromise its principles. Mark Pope, always visionary, knew how to turn this moment into an opportunity to further strengthen the Wildcats roster. With the signing of Denzel Aberdeen from Florida, and the addition of players like Reese Potter and Braden Hawthorne, Kentucky has solidified a robust and versatile team, capable of competing at a high level during the 2024-25 season. In addition, the retention of Otega Owe, an all-SEC pick, was a masterstroke that ensured continuity and leadership for the group. It is no exaggeration to say that, despite losing Wilkerson, Kentucky came out of this story with a solid and optimistic position. The rivalry between Kentucky and Indiana, now renewed with the matchup scheduled for December 13th at Rupp Arena, takes on even more exciting contours. It will be interesting to see how Wilkerson behaves in front of a crowd that will certainly remember that abrupt decision. But, regardless of the outcome of this game, what really matters is the adaptability and resilience demonstrated by the Lexington program. Mark Pope proved once again that success is not measured only by immediate victories, but by the consistent construction of a winning culture. The case of Lamar Wilkerson serves as a reminder that college basketball is as complex as it is fascinating. It is an environment where each individual choice can alter collective trajectories, where strategies are shaped in real time, and where ethics and long-term vision must prevail over desperate short-term attempts. And, in this context, Kentucky basketball, even without Wilkerson, continues its quest for glory. Let's move on. Southeastern Conference, SEC. Commissioner Greg Sankey's announcement of a new fine policy for trespassing is set to be one of the most talked-about topics of the season. The decision to raise the penalty to $500,000 in all cases, eliminating the previous tiered system, is a strategic and symbolic move that reflects growing concerns about safety at college sporting events. And when we talk about Kentucky football with Stoops, we know we're dealing with a passionate, vibrant, and often uncontrollable crowd in the stands. The move comes at a time when emotions in college football are running high than ever. Big wins, dramatic comebacks, and decisive moments are natural fuel for thousands of students to rush the field or court to celebrate without thinking twice. In the case of the Kentucky Wildcats, this is nothing new. Kroger Field has been the scene of some memorable scenes, especially in games against traditional rivals like Tennessee or Florida. where the fans' passion for the light blue transforms any victory into a festival of collective enthusiasm. However, what seems to be just a spontaneous gesture of celebration can, in some cases, put athletes, referees, and even other fans at risk. Sankey, in justifying the change, highlighted something essential. A field invasion is a field invasion, whether it's the first time or the 18th time. This phrase echoes as a clear warning to SEC universities, including Kentucky, that repeating this behavior should not be considered normal. The central idea is to protect everyone involved in the game, regardless of the emotional context. Even if the invasion seems harmless, it carries with it a dangerous unpredictability. A trip, a shove, or a simple lack of space can quickly turn what was supposed to be a celebration into an unfortunate incident. It is important to note that the new policy also includes an interesting detail: the possibility of waiving the fine if the opposing teams, their coaching staffs, and referees manage to leave the field before the invasion. This shows that the SEC is not only imposing strict rules, but also seeking a balance between safety and tradition. However, this clause depends on the ability to organize and control the stadium, something that can be challenging in times of great euphoria. For Kentucky, this new reality places an extra responsibility on the shoulders of the administration and security team. Mark Stoops, known for his disciplined and focused approach, will certainly play an important role in this scenario. He has demonstrated, on several occasions, that he understands the importance of maintaining a safe and controlled environment, both for his athletes and for the fans. It would not be surprising if the coach used his influence to raise awareness among the BBN, as Kentucky's fans are known, about the risks associated with this type of behavior. Furthermore, the amount of $500,000 is significant enough to make any university rethink its crowd management strategy. For Kentucky, which has invested heavily in its football program in recent years, a fine of this magnitude could directly impact other important areas, such as sports infrastructure or scholarships. This creates an additional incentive for the institution to take preventive measures and encourage fans to celebrate safely. It is impossible to imagine the Kentucky Wildcats without the contagious energy of BBN. Therefore, the challenge now is to find creative ways to channel this excitement without compromising safety. Perhaps educational campaigns, designated spaces for celebrations, or even post-game events organized by the university could be viable solutions. Ultimately, the SEC's decision is a reflection of the current moment in college sports, a mix of tradition, modernity, and responsibility. While fans will continue to cheer for the Wildcats and the achievements of Mark Stoops, it is essential that everyone is aware that there are limits that cannot be crossed. After all, true sportsmanship is celebrating great victories without putting anyone at risk. Now let's see how it goes. Comment your opinion.